Hi, I'm Beck Peel and this is Ben Holt, one of our senior project consultants with Greenline. Today we're going to be talking about shade sails and primarily some misconceptions around that triangle shade sails. So Ben, when I started in this industry, if somebody had asked me about shade sails and what they look like, I would have said triangle. So the long and short of it, should a shade sail be triangle?
No, in an answer.
Yeah.
It is a very common question, and
Okay.
it's often because any shade sail that you see, even though most of them are rectangular, you're looking at the elevation view of it, so you'll see a triangle because they're twisted.
Okay.
And shade sails, or all fabric structures, should have an anti-clastic shape, which means it's got opposing tensions in two directions. And the name of the shape of a shade sail, a rectangular shade sail with a twist, is a hyperbolic paraboloid, or hyper sail as they call it.
Okay, so why is that so important to a shade sail?
Well, one of the biggest challenges when dealing with fabric structures, as opposed to a conventional build, say bricks and mortar and steel frame structures and so on, is the fabric structure is designed to have some movement and some deflection. And you need to get a specialist designer and a specialist engineer to make sure that the structure is designed correctly, it's got the right geometry to make sure that you get the longevity you need out of it.
Okay. And what about wind and sails?
Well, if a shade sail is incorrectly designed and installed and it doesn't have enough tension or the right shape to be able to support the tension, you're going to get too much movement. So any shade sail, when you see it in a wind, you're going to see a little bit of vibration in it.
Okay.
But if you've got a sag in it and it's hanging down, then the wind will come through and it'll hit that. It'll push it up. Then the wind will hit it from the top, push it down. And you end up with this violent whipping action going on. And it's that whipping action that degrades the fabric, can break your shackles and even bend the posts.
Right.
So a tight shade sail actually puts less force onto the post and the support structure than a loose one.
Okay, so you've mentioned the high par shape. Why is that the answer?
Well, that's the twist that I referred to before.
Okay.
And as an example, imagine you and three friends have got a big sheet, so a big square sheet, and you hold your corner down at ground level. The next person holds their corner up above their head. The third person down at ground level and the fourth above their head. So what you've got is a twist. You hold that tight and then you look in the middle of it and there'll be tension in the middle.
Yes, yeah.
So when the wind blows through, it can't move that much because it's being held down by the person's pulling it down.
Yes.
And up. So then you take it all to above your head. So the fabric, even you can hold it as tight as you like, it's still going to have a sag in the middle.
Yeah.
There's no opposing tension.
Yeah.
The wind will come through, it'll make that whip and it'll tug it out of your hands.
And what about the triangle shape? How does that work with?
Well, grab that same sheet, cut it diagonally so you've got a big triangle.
Okay.
And you can't get a twist in it.
All right.
So it's forever, a triangle is a forever two-dimensional shape.
Okay.
So then you're going to have that same problem, reduced longevity, more movement, and you're not going to get the outcome you want.
All right, so well, that definitely makes sense. So no bunning
No.
shade sails then. That aside, is there any other reason you might not recommend a triangle?
It certainly is, and it relates to the curve in the edge of the shade sail. Now that curve is another part of the engineering design to get the tension into the fabric, but that tension, that curve as well means that you're losing a little bit of cover. So you get that, say, a 10 metre by 10 metre area, and you get two triangles in there instead of one square, you'll actually have about 2 metres of gap in the middle of the area that you're trying to shade.
Right, so the shade isn't very effective when you're not actually covering it with shade cloth. So that seems fairly explanatory. We should stay away from triangles technically, but would it be a cheaper option?
Well, that again is a common question that we get, and I think it's because people perceive that there's less fabric, so therefore less cost.
Yeah.
But when you're engineering a fabric structure, the angle of the corner of the fabric where it meets the structure, the tighter the angle, the more force it puts back onto the column.
Okay.
So a triangle, you look at an ordinary square fabric, and you've got a 90-degree corner. A triangle, you bring that down. With the example of the 10 metre by 10 metre area with two triangles in it, not only have you got a sharper angle, you've got two sails pulling in a similar direction off the one post.
Yeah.
So your steel size goes up, your footing size goes up, so you're increasing your project cost and also shortening the lifespan of the structure.
Yeah, and I would imagine maintenance
exactly
as
right.
well would increase.
So a tight shade sail, you monitor it, a loose shade sail is going to have wear, it's going to need replacement sooner.
Yeah, okay, so what's the best way to go about starting a project or thinking about where you might like shade?
Well, if you're a little bit practically minded and you've got some idea of what you want to do, maybe even some concept of the shape you're looking for or the configuration where you want posters on, well, by all means start with a sketch.
Yep.
Mark out your area, you might start with a Google Maps, you might have a drawing of the space. Just do a little bit of a sketch and decide roughly what you want. If you don't really know, we'll just say, well, this is the area I want covered. But then give us a call, because we've got dedicated designers that spend their time purely designing shade structures, and that's all they do. And they'll take whatever detail you've got and they'll come up with a way to cost effectively and with low maintenance give you an outcome that gives you the shade where you need it.
So thanks for your time today, Ben, and I can't wait to talk about our next topic with you. You can get more information on our resources page or give us a call on 1800 044 200 or contact us through our social media platforms and website. Thanks.